Cheeky winks. I've got to make sure I'm sober when I say that.
First, take it aside for a cheeky
That's going to work. Don't worry, PJ doesn't listen to this podcast.
He will now.
What was it said about his mother as well?
Yeah, that was really unpleasant. I thought you'd be nice. This is the essay, of which there are only 3 right-hand drive manual conversions in the world.
There are only 2 World Wars. I think another one's a good idea.
Hello and welcome to the Pro Detailer podcast. Today we have another special guest, and I want to get straight on and introduce him. Cav, say hello.
Hello, I'm Cav. Nice to meet you all.
Oh, I love.
It's Cav from Stjärnagloss, who's driven all the way from deepest Essex.
Yep. As after coming back from deepest of South Wales.
Well, I was about to say, you took some practice runs just to find your way here. You ended up in Westbury, did you say? Not Westbury. Where was it yesterday?
Pendine Sands.
Pendine Sands.
Yes.
Why I was thinking Westbury, I have no idea.
I've never even heard of that place. I don't know where you've got that from.
Oh, it's Wiltshire.
Oh, okay.
That's where they do all of the skid video shots, isn't it? It's when the tide's low.
I have no
on
idea.
the sands.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
talked about this Wiltshire
not
place.
No, not in Wiltshire.
No,
No,
yeah.
no,
Nothing
they
happens in
don't really
Westbury.
do skids in Wiltshire.
Yeah, a classic
Tractors
drag
don't go
racing.
fast.
They've
Like
got
skid marks.
7 miles of flat sand with a shooting range at the end. Strange
Makes
combination.
you go faster.
Yeah, it definitely makes you go faster. So yeah, we went down there, and yeah, I can't believe it. It was 2.5 hours back where we've just come from to get here. But here I am. Thank you very, very much for having me.
Well, we're very, very grateful for you coming. We're also joined by Ian.
Hello.
And James isn't with us at the moment. He's been recalled back up north, I believe.
Yeah, I think the border force got wind of him.
Yes.
He's had to go back up.
I'm glad they've opened my letters at last. So today we want to talk initially about Stjärnagloss. We'll do a little bit of car news, but generally speaking, it's going to be all about Cav. So, Cav, tell us, how did you get into car care all them years ago?
Much like 99.9% of anybody in car care, I turned 17, I passed my test, I walked into a high street store that sold Autoglim. Mm-hmm. I bought a bottle. I returned the following week. I bought another bottle. Became addicted, and
You're not
good
supposed
taste.
to. Yeah,
It's
I was
got a
about
good
to
taste
say.
to it.
Say that again.
Well, it's just if you drink it, you will become addicted. It's the thing.
Using everything in completely the wrong way. Extra gloss protection, then clay barring. Didn't have a clue what I was doing, but it felt good. There was something there. There was something therapeutic, and it was almost a bit of a my car's shiny than his. It was if you couldn't afford to put a turbo on your car. Oh, I can afford the £10 bottle of shampoo, and that will
Well,
give you some
it adds
points.
slickness, so it goes fast.
Absolutely, absolutely less resistance.
Science.
Well, no, F1 cars are coated. There are a couple of companies out there who are
Some
supposedly
of them
coating
are,
it.
yeah.
I think it matters when it
They
comes
say
to
it for the
hundreds of-
sponsorship deal.
Yes.
Yeah. It must
Just
be
like
expensive.
Ronaldo drinking Coke. It's great. Do you see that the other day?
I don't even know. Ronaldo's a football player?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
going to say Cristiano.
Yeah, no,
Right.
he had 2 bottles of Coke on him.
He's Pepsi, isn't he?
Oh no, not even that. He had the Coke in front of him at the press conference because they're sponsoring Euros, and he took it off and just shouted out, "Drink water!" So, that cost Coke $4 billion, $4 billion on their stock. I mean, they're worth 246 anyway, but
That statement cost them $4 billion.
Yep. Fell $4 billion in
Blimey.
within
I'm
a
in the
couple of
wrong
hours
game.
of that.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong game.
So cycle forward some years.
Yes.
And you found yourself in the car care industry.
Yep. So I worked for another brand for 4 years. Left there. Didn't want to leave car care because I loved it. Because I got to go to car shows for free. I got to do something that felt very natural, felt very easy, and
We're talking about car care here, right?
just. As I say, didn't want to leave it because I loved the lifestyle that went with it, but struggled, to be honest, to find a job with another manufacturer for various reasons. Some good, some bad. Met Dodo Juice. Officially, I'd heard of them, obviously, because they're dinosaurs in this industry. Met them properly. And
Do you want to rephrase that? I'm just thinking that.
no, they'll understand. There was talks of a simplified range. They needed a front man. Because of a performing arts background, I thought that was a good fit. And I've always...
Performing arts, sorry, I just want to go into that. You were a ballet dancer?
Tap, modern, ballet and drama.
Class.
From the age of 3, 4 till 16. 18 when I went to college and done my A levels. I have no problem saying that I used to do ballet. A lot of people could try and call me out for that, but that is the reason I'm with my fiance, because of the hips. So brownie points.
Yours or hers?
Both.
Right.
They work perfectly in tandem. It's like Patrick Swayze. I've gone right off there.
You have. Is Patrick Swayze
now,
even alive?
Now I've got an image in my head that I could...
Yeah.
Can we
We'll have to pay
restart?
for that. Yes, I feel that there are a lot of detailers that started car care brands. There aren't many salesmen in car care. You know, they can demonstrate products, but there's no showmanship.
Well, I kind of agree with you. In kind of our area of car care, but then there are an awful lot of generic car shows you go to, and you've got a bloke with a van, transit van. I used to do the circuit back in the days when I was running a little manufacturer, and there were these guys who would stock up a van full of stuff, normally just sort of auto glim and generic kind of stuff, and they would just go from show to show to show, and became a bit of like a travelling community. And they were absolutely salespeople. And you could go, oh, will this fix my car? Yeah, of course it will. And they'd say yes to anything and everything.
But in my opinion, that's a dealer. That's somebody that's buying in somebody else's. Manufacturers don't really have salesmen.
Yeah.
If they do, they're corporate, and they're talking about selling lorry loads to wholesalers. Cool. But I think the smaller boutique brands don't. They were always detailers that have a bit of products.
That's the problem. They're all run by detailers who know their stuff. They know about what they want the product to do. But detailers, and me speaking to detailer, are not interesting people. They're great at talking about the technical side of things, why you want something to work. But you take them to a dinner party and they are going to make everybody fall asleep. Well, you want that salesman, you want that little bit of sizzle, the showmanship, the bit of fun.
Absolutely.
And that's, I mean, when I was getting into detailing, that's what Dodo juice were for me.
Absolutely.
And this is what I see Stjärnagloss as. I don't know, Dodo have just done a big rebrand, but I see Stjärnagloss as the Dodo juice of this sort of next semi-generation. These guys that are just coming into car care now. This is what Dodo juice was for me when I got into detailing.
Yeah.
And it's fab.
No, you're absolutely right. And you hit the nail on the head. Detailers are great, techie, but dreary. But by nature, if you want to get passionate about detailing, talk to a detailer, no problem. But if you want to have a conversation about something else, we've run out of things.
Well, here as a non-detailer, I feel kind of.
Don't get me wrong, you're boring as well.
Thank you. Well, maybe that's why, but I find plenty of detailers very interesting.
When you're talking about detailing?
No, I talk about all sorts of things with them.
Okay.
I like how you averted your eyes from me for a second.
No, I think I would absolutely acknowledge that some of the character traits that are common to detailing that I think draw people into detailing as a profession are kind of contradictory to those that a showman or an extrovert might have. But there are still plenty of detailers who aren't necessarily extroverty salespeople, but are they're deep.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, I was overly stereotyping. Perhaps there are obvious exceptions to the rule. There are lots of people I like to follow. And
well, that said, though, I am trying to think of detailers who I would, put on the front of a TV program or something like that. And obviously, Cav, you're now officially Top Gear, so that's you know exactly what it's like. Basically, Jeremy Clarkson Mark II.
Both JC.
Yeah, absolutely.
2.0.
Prodigal son or grandson. I can't actually think of anyone who I'd put in front of a camera.
Well, this is awkward now, isn't it?
It is a bit awkward. Yeah.
There are plenty of detailers. Let me go back. There are plenty of detailers that are engaging. I don't feel that there are any detailer come manufacturers that can sell.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There are detailers that I will watch for hours on YouTube and Instagram.
ASMR stuff, watch some machine polishing, and it's really great to watch and relaxing. And
to be fair, White Details,
mm-hmm.
again, great showman. The guy that sounds like he's from Art Attack. Oh my God, what is his name?
Art Attack, that brings me back.
It's an Art Attack.
What is his name?
What company? What?
Guru, Car Care Guru.
Oh, Car Care Guru, yes.
Car Cleaning Guru.
Yep.
That voice put me to sleep. Amazing. Very entertaining. But he isn't pushing products. He's pushing kind of the products.
Yeah.
So going right back to Stjärna, I think that's what separates us from obviously you guys know better than most, there's a lot of brands.
Yes.
I just feel that there's, for an industry that is thriving and is big and is growing, there aren't many salesmen.
And there aren't too many big characters. I mean, hell, PJ at Dodo Juice kind of fills that thing. Matt Yates over at Angel Wax, he's good fun.
Yeah.
But I agree, a lot of them aren't hugely
Absolute
exciting.
Valetin, I can't remember his name. Great fun.
Yeah.
There's a few. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm the only.
I think this is why a lot of the, if you like you say boutique brands, but the one man selling his own branded products starts to drag a little bit because there's never anything new about them, because a lot of them are getting the chemicals from one of 3-4 main companies. They're just not adding any impetus for people to buy from them, because say this is good, this is what I use this, and you can finish a car like I do.
Yeah, I mean, we get probably
people need a little bit of the sizzle.
Exactly. I mean, once a week we get a phone call or an email, and
Must be nice for you.
Yeah, and from someone, either a new brand or an existing brand, and they spend a long time saying how their product is that much better. And because we're A, cynical old dogs, and B, we've heard a lot of it before. It is interesting. Oh, so why is this shampoo better? Well, it cleans better than anything else. Oh, why does it do that? And then suddenly the knowledge kind of just drops out.
It smells of cherry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got electrolytes.
That is, you make a solid point, and that is most, generalising here, most car shampoos do the job of cleaning the car.
Yep.
Yeah, there aren't many outright dog turd shampoos. Yeah. They do the job.
They're not just bottles of water with a little bit of fairy in it.
Don't worry, you can swear on this. So, for example, Mitsubishi. See, I said it.
Most shampoos aren't dog shit. So to separate mine from Joe Bloggs's, I'm not going to wang on about the features and benefits of Mutter and Bubble Or. I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to make you think, do you know what? I didn't care for a bottle of shampoo. I want it because of him.
If you drink it through the mouth and then blow it out through the nose and it makes bubbles, that's always hilarious.
Or if you have a curry and wash it down with, it comes out your back end.
Oh.
Pop, pop, pop.
Nice.
I mean, this is marketing 101 at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
It gives an audience a connection with the brand. It's
engaging.
They remember that they laughed, that they enjoyed it, that it was funny, it engaged with them. They go out, they buy it, they try it, they like it, it works.
Get some endorphins going. They recognise that brand, and it puts a positive.
Endorphins. That's a
whopper of a word.
It's like porpoises. they're French dolphins.
And please don't think that I'm trying to say that we're the king of marketing, because I am not. There are plenty of firms out there with the best, incredible, amazing marketing. I just think that there needs to be more relatability, personable, and just taking the seriousness out of cleaning cars.
I know you say you're not blowing your own trumpet, but and I'm not saying this just because you're sat in front of us and
Are you going to blow his trumpet?
But I will say that you are probably the most entertaining and engaging personality in detailing at the moment.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, my endorphins, I don't know what they are, but they're through the roof.
You heard Kelly on the podcast a couple of weeks ago.
I cannot believe he knows who I am. That blew my mind.
Not be funny, but we struggled to get Kelly to reply to half of the messages.
Anyway, he's a very, very busy man. But
no, he's just ignoring us. It's fine.
No, but the thing is, it is that balance between technical knowledge, because I mean, Kelly knows more than anyone. Pretty much about it, but he is personable, but he's not as wacky as you are. Probably,
no.
He's
and that was a real thinking point for me when he said, I didn't really know what product he was talking about. I was fixated on him, and I
saw your tongue out.
Did sort of think, oh, maybe I need to chill out a little bit. But going back to what I just said, shampoo.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make you laugh. And yeah, the fact that he knows who I am just sort of made me think, yeah, this is working, because it's getting out to everybody.
Yeah. Well, you built this caricature in a way, because I remember when we came over to, when you were doing a marathon 24-hour car wash, just FYI, how much did you raise in the end for a good
3,600 and something.
And was that for kids, donkeys, dogs?
Both. No, it was children to ride donkeys.
Children to ride the donkeys?
No, it was, in all seriousness, Raise the Sunshine charity, which grants wishes to terminally ill children between the age of 3 and 18.
So it could involve donkeys?
if they want to ride one,
if they were big
they're
into
on one.
donkeys. Awesome. Well, that was, I mean, I thought that was a marathon effort. And we came at about 11 in the morning and you were on it. You were, I mean, I'm afraid we
full
only
of
bought
beans then, yeah.
some crappy old BMW that only does about 40 miles an hour too. I can say that because James isn't here. Yeah, no, I did a proper job and I was stalking around with the camera, making a fuss and talking to PJ, but I thought it was an awesome, epic enterprise.
I heard your, firstly, thank you for mentioning that on 2 or 3 podcasts ago. You mentioned that you feared that the content creators were laughing at you. I asked them, they said, we haven't got a clue what you're talking about. And they said it with quite a straight face. So I just want you to know that no one was laughing at you.
Oh, no, I'm used to being laughed at by kids. I mean, the fact is, I had my arse hanging out. I was using an old school DSLR where they're probably all mirrorless, funky jazz. And they were, I don't know, have you got old enough yet to fear the kids?
No.
I now look at the youth and I think, Christ, we're doomed. I mean, just absolutely doomed. And so, yeah, no, I always feel terribly untrendy, but that's probably because I use words like untrendy.
Is this a sudden occurrence? You've only just noticed this?
It's not a sudden occurrence. It may be a sudden realisation. Certainly. I mean, I turned up, where was it? I was somewhere like McDonald's. I don't go to McDonald's, but I do go to the car park sometimes. And I opened my door and I had Radio 4 on at full volume and everybody looked round. And because I've got double glazing on my old Audi that you don't know how loud it is. And then I looked around and I was just sort of looking up. I was like, what's going on here? They looked at me like I was a history teacher.
You fit the bill perfectly.
Yeah.
In fact, I make myself feel youthful sometimes just by using TikTok. That seems like a really youthful thing to me.
Somebody sent me on
I hate to love
WhatsApp.
TikTok.
It's dangerous.
It's really addictive.
Yeah, I was sent a link to one thing, and then I realised
I sent you through something.
Yeah, it was. Somebody got me onto it, and now randomly on my phone, it just sends me notifications, and you have to press notifications, and it comes up, and it's something, and then you just scroll up, and you scroll up, and suddenly you look up, and you're 37 years old, and you're growing a beard.
You're still in the toilet and your left leg's gone numb with pins and needles.
Left leg, you lucky sausage. Both of mine go. I get up and they go foot on the face floor.
The sink.
Yeah, it's awkward in the public labs.
I'm just sitting over here, 37 years old with a beard.
I'm not even 36 yet, come to think of it. I realised I'm turning 36 in about a month. And
You've just woken up to that?
Yeah, no, generally, I thought I've been 36 all year. So this is
okay,
it's
you've
good
gained a
news
year,
for
that's
me.
good.
Yeah, I've kind of gained a year.
You've undone Rona.
It's like, woo, I'm 35. No, now you're 36 again. Oh, bollocks. But yeah, but you're only 30 years old.
I am only 30.
Baby.
Well, I say only. I don't feel like I'm only 30. I'm knackered.
I had to dive out of the room a second to go and get a parcel that decided to come at the door and kept on banging on the buzzer. I didn't catch. Have we asked you about who does your media stuff yet?
No.
Can you tell us a bit about them? Because there's some amazing little videos they do.
The videos are me.
Oh, it's all. Yeah, I mean, it's all you in front of it.
No, tripod as well. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I will run round, check focus, hit record, run back.
So it's all a self-portrait.
Hey, he checks
absolutely.
focus. Just saying.
Shut up.
Well, to be fair, because I've got a Sony mirrorless, it does it for me.
A7.
I've just bought a
7 III.
Canon R6, so I'll match your Sony, and as long as we're not taking any sort of greenery or landscapes, I will beat it once I figured out how the hell it works.
Video wise, the stuff that's generally speaking on a tripod is me, and
All the little short TikToks and things like that.
the kind of
Insta
30
stuff.
seconds to a minute and a half is me, because I can handle that, and they are thrown together in I can't remember what editing suite I used for most.
Premiere
Rush, not even Pro. Premiere Rush.
Okay.
Quick, and they get a lot of love. And I hate how much love they get, because they are rough around the edges. The grading isn't good. There are better angles. There's better. I could be polarizing better. There's so much
But
I
you know
could
what?
do.
That matters, Jack. The best videos we've done are ones that are just done on a phone at a random impetus. All the ones we've spent ages getting it right.
That
they
Subaru
always
always bloody
bomb.
ages to edit together with the stop motion and.
No, it didn't. I did that very quickly.
No, I did that.
Oh, that
not-
Subaru one.
No, the other rubbish one.
Shut up. The white one.
Yes,
The dead one.
yes.
Actually, that's hay fever, not tragedy. But anyway, so shut up. And you're absolutely right. Is that the impromptu ones, and it's all about the content.
Yeah.
And you and your cheeky winks. I've got to make sure I'm sober when I say that at camera. It does. It's bizarre. I first
Take it outside for a cheeky wink if you want.
I first watched him, and I have to admit, my first inclination was, "What a dick," and then
Fair.
yeah, and I was like, "He's a bit of a geezer, a bit of a white boy," and then going on, and then actually, I realised that you're actually taking the piss out yourself.
Absolutely.
And once you realise that, it then becomes hysterical.
Yeah. No, I it's a great shout. I get annoyed at myself when I'm editing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh. But you do have to turn it up. I I always phrase it as this is Cav the dad,
Mm-hmm.
and when I'm on camera, I turn into Cav the lad.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
just 20% more of me. And
How far does it go up?
we've had a couple of
Can we go like
Yeah, I was about to
70?
say.
200.
It's going to
Stella
turn up in a
cab,
3-wheel yellow van.
I've got the Camel Echo in the Jag. But no, I completely respect what you've said. The arrogance, kind of the
It's a caricature.
bullish,
Yeah.
kind of almost a bit aggressive, which my fiance says, "Oh, you come off a bit strong there," and I'm like, I feel that generally speaking, everyone gets it.
Yeah.
There are a few people that message in, mate, I'm really struggling I don't see what the fuss is about.
Mm-hmm.
And first and foremost, I'm like, well, just don't follow me then. Don't watch
Yeah.
the video. But it's fine. I'll take it on. But the pictures that I wanted to get into, that is our freelance content creator called Ali, or Through Films on Instagram. He is different gravy with a camera.
There's one photo I saw on I think it was on the Facebook feed, that I absolutely love, and it's you're holding all the Stjärnagloss bottles back when it was Stjärnagloss,
Yeah.
and just throwing up in the air. You just managed to catch it exactly the right moment. Must have been a massive burst shot or something like that.
I was about to say, that's a mirrorless camera to get
and
that.
it's absolutely stunning, perfect.
Just go on it.
Yeah,
See, my favourite is you on a beach and you're driving and you're
Easy.
hanging out the side of a car. And it's
oh,
that
is
isn't
that
me driving.
was that the M3?
That's- No, I was M2.
M2, sorry.
So we're so lucky with the people that follow the brand. We have a lot of content creators following the brand because of the content that Ali's creating. So a good friend of Ali's is R23.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a fuel can and he goes on his trips and he shoots the most amazing cars. And generally speaking, when he goes on a trip, he'll get me something. So I had no idea. He just sent me this rolling shot through M2 on a beach, beautiful backdrop with a can hanging out the window. I was like, I didn't even pay for this. Like, this is amazing.
Was that you driving? Or was
No.
that was him.
That was another sponsor.
To be fair,
Josh.
when I see a BMW, I just presume that they're all going to look the same inside.
Just
so I
hate, don't you?
I don't hate them.
I mean, they haven't changed in 40 years.
It's nice not having changed sometimes, isn't it? We can talk about
So
BMWs
Somewhere
like
he's twitching.
yeah.
you dislike you. Yeah, I don't know of many people that don't like or don't care for BMW.
No, I appreciate
I do not
BMWs.
dislike BMWs.
Yeah. Well, you're at the point of buying one as well.
Yeah, I keep on going backwards and forwards with that.
I walk into the office and he's getting very excited in front of the computer screen, and it's just like a 240i or something, whatever they call them. And yeah, you were very much at the point of pulling the trigger if it wasn't for some sort of maintenance plan.
Yeah. No, so I've no problem being. I love the exterior styling. I even grown to love the 6 Series. That's kind of
It's
got
the dash,
It's
the dials.
The interior just hasn't changed enough. And I know I've said this to James before, and James says he likes that because he can get into any BMW from the last 20, 30 years and knows where everything is.
Could say the same about Porsche though.
Yeah.
But then you're driving a Porsche, so it's all right.
Well, you say that, but no, I put Porsche and BMW. I think Porsche and BMW for me are very similar. It's just one's got more successful than the other.
Yeah, one's further up the career ladder.
Yeah, or closer to the midlife crisis, depending how you want to put it.
I know we're going to talk about cars actually.
Yeah.
Because that fascinates me. I don't really know many people that dislike BMW, and I know it's a recurring theme. And I was just like, I really need to get into that with you guys.
It's mostly jealousy, I think. I appreciate the straight six, the ITBs on the M cars. I appreciate a lot of it, and it annoys me. It's like, for example, because they're all drive, most of them, apart from obviously all the new ones now, front wheel drive and boring, is that the engine, you open up the bonnet and you've got the suspension turrets, and the engine is kind of more or less behind them. Coming from a Subaru background, it's the other way round, which is the wrong way round. So.
Just kind of on the driveway. How many Subaru engines have you got on your driveway at the moment?
Including ones in cars.
No, out of cars.
Out cars, just one.
Just the one. Okay, cool.
And I've got one up at Kevin's.
Just clarify, with me, it's not BMWs that are the problem. It's Vauxhall.
Yeah, but you see,
Well, that's understandable though.
They've done nothing.
They've done everything wrong. Everything they have done is just.
Well, Vauxhall, or what will now be known as Le Vauxhall, having been taken over by PSA.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I do.
It was the
take
Insignia that did it for me. It was the final straw. They had such an opportunity with that car, and I think it was great up until it came out of the design studio, and then it went to the accounts department. I went, how can we make this cheaper? And they did it, and it was awful.
They bore me to death. Obviously, of yesteryear, the Carlton cool.
Yes.
Cavalier, cool. GTE, cool. Just because of the dash. I don't even care. I know it wasn't that fast, but the dash was cool.
It was if you find a high enough rock.
I had, I think the Vauxhall, I just got that, sorry. I had a Corsa B GSI in that, I can't remember what the green was called, but it was like a turquoisey green.
Yeah, well, we go back to our Indian restaurant analogy. Yeah.
What is that?
It's, but if you eat a file too quickly, that's the green that you get.
No, it's a turquoise. It's beautiful.
No, it is
type.
generally the colour you get.
Yeah, oh, okay.
We ought to go out for a curry at some point. I'll force a file down you quickly.
He drinks blue WKD all night. Probably doesn't help.
Let's go back to being 12. I enjoyed that car.
Yeah.
But then the Corsa C, DE limited edition 2.0, 3.0, nothing's happening. Don't care. VXR, boring. I know they're not bad cars, but
Well, they
I just
are.
don't care.
I was rerouted to Luton once, and I had to get a car to drive me down to Bristol to pick up my Alpha that was down at Bristol Airport, and they hired me out a 1.2 Corsa C.
Oh, the twin port.
It was fucking awful.
Chain engine.
Yeah.
Really, there was absolutely nothing about it. And usually you can find at least one thing about the car. You go, okay, yeah, you tried with that. Nothing. Grey plastic, no acceleration whatsoever. You literally, when you pull out of a when you pull out of a T junction, and you're behind a Corsa, and you think, okay, they're going to step on it, so I better step on it as well. And you can't be on, you nearly go into the back of them. I've always shouted at those people, saying, why are you not accelerating? And now I know from the experience in the course, I know they are accelerating. They're trying.
They're probably fat in the
They
clutch,
just made poor
pulling
life
everything out of it.
choices.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
Yeah. So you're anti-Vauxhall. I'm Vauxhall neutral. I think there are some great ones. I think there are some tedious ones.
I think Vauxhall and Peugeot done the same thing. Used to make great cars and then just went.
No, I'm going to pull you up on that because Ian's just bought a new Peugeot, but also
It's a 308 GT line.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Actually, the 208, 308 look kind of cool.
Yeah, the 208, the E208 looks fab.
Okay.
In that, they've got a metallic yellow.
I do like metallic yellow.
It's very cool.
And so actually, no, I think Peugeot are on the up now. I think they had a bad period post 406, so 407 onwards.
When was the 406 released?
406 would have been late 90s because 405 before it. It's got to be late 90s, and then they had the facelift.
The 106 GTI.
Yes, classic.
Late 90s, early 2000s was a great car.
Yeah.
But I haven't really checked in with Peugeot for years because of it, you know.
Well, I think that's the thing that caught me out there, because when we were down at the dealership, I was sort of wandering around because I had the boy in tow and sort of trying to stop him from running up and down, scratching into cars, banging into things.
I've got a name.
And I saw a 5008. Or 5,000 today, as I've got to call it. It's huge.
I
did not realise how huge those things were, because I don't think I've ever seen one on the road.
Yeah. It's a 7 Series A8 type.
No, it's more
SUV.
It's more Discovery size.
Oh, okay.
It's 7-seater.
Okay.
If you take the seats out, it's an 8 or 9 body car. Seriously,
I mean, if you leave the seats in, it's an 8 or 9 body car.
No, it's a 7
body.
body.
You've got 7 seats, and you just put
7. Yeah, if you take them out, if you've got a wood chipper, you probably get up to 25.
But no, Peugeot have got some decent styling now.
Yeah, no, I'm pro Peugeot at the present. I'm holding out hope they're going to be up there.
I'm sure they'll all break. Because
but all modern cars do break. That's why I've got old cars, because at least you know they'll break, and there's no warranty or anything to protect you and make life boring.
Living on the edge.
Oh yeah. No, well, we won't get into car news quite yet because there's probably some stuff to talk about, and we need to talk about your cars. But we were talking about your media partners, and what do you attribute the success of? I mean, Stjärnagloss. How long have you been in the job, so to speak?
November the 1st, 2019. So what are we now? What month is it? June. So 18 months.
I was saying outside, the last time we went down to see Dom, just joined. Not you, when we both went down and had lunch at the Old People's Pub.
Cav's just mentioned it's June. We've got a magazine to put out at some point fairly soon, haven't we?
What?
Yeah, it's June. I'm
Probably
pretty sure
on that.
Bollocks. Okay, yeah, no, sorry. That's an aside. So, November 2019.
19 months ago.
19 months ago.
Yeah, so less than 2 years, and it has come fast. I think it's been the Dodo juice has helped massively because they are so well respected. They do make an amazing chemical. We have conflicting views on what people want, what people need, what we should sell them. So it's Stjärnagloss, very, very simplified.
Who makes the final call on those sort of things?
I do get the say, to be honest, because generally speaking, the room will be split, and then because I have to sell it, it's my kind of.
Do you find that PJ's always on your side, or is it Dom who's always on your side?
I'd say it changes every day.
Gotcha.
They just do it to keep you on your toes.
Yeah. Maybe. They are great. They really do leave it to me. Get the knowledge where I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much of it that I become kind of geeked out.
Yeah, you got to be careful about not sort of becoming amalgamated in that way. I mean, if you went out and bought a stupidly big pickup truck and then pretended that it was a Ford Raptor, for example, we would be asking questions rather than how did you put a Transit on stills?
Exactly.
That's going to work. Don't worry, PJ doesn't listen to this podcast.
He will now.
What was it said about his mother as well?
Yeah, that was really unpleasant. I thought you'd be nicer than that.
It's all lies, Paige. It's all lies.
Any jobs going out there?
30-year-old male, good CV.
Dances all right.
They ish.
All right. Yeah.
Can edit the timing.
It's like Fantasia.
They are very, very good to me, and generally speaking, left to my own devices. Just when it gets boring, admin, labels, commodity codes.
So you do all of that yourself?
No, they do the boring bit.
Oh, okay.
I just get to be the showman and do silly podcasts.
You're very lucky.
I am lucky.
Very lucky. I mean, I know Dom does like a good spreadsheet. We have exchanged spreadsheets before for no apparent reason. Just sending them to each other. Check out my macros, baby. We've got a special code. We sign off on like special BPX and DPX on our emails, and everybody who's like copied into things says, "What the hell is going on? Why are you Xing each other?" He could do so much better, and all of these other things.
Keeps putting DNR on yours
to match my chest. That's a dark joke, isn't it? Christ.
That was heavy.
Yeah,
I think that's a good one to split onto a break on.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to have a cry.
So we were going to start talking about Stjärnagloss, the company.
Yes.
And they've been around a long time, haven't they?
16 years, 17 years ago, maybe now.
Wow, legal. I'm too old to do those kind of jokes.
There was a detailing supply company up in Manchester called Stjärnamobile that done their own car care brand, done their own
I'm just going to turn off the aircon that we switched on. And
get rid of the white noise. Okay, cool. Did their own brand of car care products, branded as Stjärnagloss. I don't know if there was a Swede in that company. I'm going to be honest.
Turn it.
They had a very red snow foam, which was a bit of a legend. That got a lot of attention because I imagine 15, 16 years ago, snow foaming was new. Mm-hmm. For it and to be red was even more crazy. Got some traction. I don't know what happened. It just didn't work out.
In hindsight, the packaging was awful.
It was tragic. But that's unfair for me to comment on that now because 15 years ago, I would say I looked tragic.
Well, about to say you would be about 12.
Yeah, I would have been 15, covered in spots and greasy brill cream in my hair.
But still the
same now. So I agree. I don't love the branding today, but there wasn't.
It was new. It was different.
There wasn't tons of competition then anyway, and you had white bottles of the infamous. You had black bottles of other. So I suppose, yeah, all right, let's go red. Why not? It could have stuck. It didn't, unfortunately. So when pairing up with Dodo juice, rather than a generic something nothingness name, we procured the rights from them and reinvented it. Now, the only things that stayed were Stjärnagloss, of course, and some, I can't remember entirely, but some of the product names. The product names are super simple. I think a lot of people get caught up on it or confused. If you Google Translate the product name, it will make so much sense.
Do you know them all?
Yes.
Can I test you?
Of course you can.
I'm going to test. Hang on. So I have written some of these down.
Okay.
Because I was looking at them all earlier because, I've got a memory like a sieve. So, you've got, right, what is Hjul?
Wheel.
What does it do?
Wheel cleaner.
There you go. Simple. What is... Oh, a second. Hang on. Does this work?
There's a sound effect for
He's
that.
been playing with jingles recently.
There you go.
Thanks.
It goes a little bit Steve Wright after that, so we've got to be careful. Fluffig.
Fluffig.
What does
Fluffy.
fluffig mean? It means
It's
fluffy.
a sort of thick pile microfiber towel.
Forst.
First is first because it's the first thing you use on the paintwork.
First step,
Pre-wash.
citrus cleaner.
Yeah.
Stuff. Brilliant as well.
Amazing.
Absolutely love First.
Best
Got
selling
an empty
products.
bottle downstairs, just saying.
Okay, I'll fill it up.
Skada.
Shut up means cut, and it's our old
Is it polish?
polish.
All in
Yeah.
one.
Is
Yeah.
that purpley one there, isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay, last one. Coco snot.
It's not in our range.
That's not how you pronounce it. Kokosnut.
That is not in our range.
Kokosnut. It's pH neutral snow foam.
That is the old Stjärnagloss.
Oh, is that
is
gone?
not in our one.
Okay,
Our one
see,
is just called snow.
Do you know what kokosnut
Snot.
means?
I'm assuming coconut snow.
Coconut.
Our snow foam does still
I
is
thought
still
that was on
coconut
your.
fragrance.
Because I looked at it, it looked like it was your new branding. Kokosnut. I mean, you're going to know,
No,
frankly.
we've got.
I'm not going to tell you your own
snow,
brand.
which is coconut smell, but we just call it snoo,
Oh,
which just means snow.
One thing, if I could possibly ask, because you've also gone through, you're already actually on phase 2, so to speak, of the new Stjärnagloss branding, aren't
Yes, and not for the wrong reasons. The original labels, for anybody that's seen them, we've got 16 core products in our range, and we used to have 3 lots of 4, 8, 12, 16, 4 lots of 4, STJ, ARN, AGL, OSS. So
Catchy.
you could
Yep.
match the bottles up, almost create a puzzle, and it would read Stjärnagloss across a foot rather than across one bottle. And it looks great in pictures. And if you buy the right kits, you can recreate that at home. But when you are like a lot of consumers, you don't want to go one brand. You want to try something. You might fall in love with the glass cleaner. But because the dominant word on the label is AGL rather than glass, people started calling it Aggle. Not cool. So we've kept the core 4, which is our gloss enhancing shampoo, gloss enhancing polish, spray sealant, and quick detailer. They read Stjärnagloss in the corporate pinch, the same one that's on my t-shirt, same one that's on the top of the website. That's the most used logo. We've kept those. Everything else now has gone to whatever the product is in big, in full. So we've not completely left it behind because we still love the core 4, and it's the easiest to recreate because, in my opinion, they're the 4 products that you absolutely need, as well as the wheel cleaner. But we didn't want to split it across 5. But yeah, phase 2 came quite quickly, but that also came because we sold a lot quicker than we thought we would. We thought the labels that we bought in the first instance would last us a couple of years. They lasted us 6-7 months. So it was right. Should we do this now, or should we order another batch of what we've got? No, let's go. Let's change it up. Let's switch it up. And generally speaking, it has been positive because first, the one that you mentioned is our best-selling product, and because now instead of it saying agloss, it says forced. That's how I say it. The Swedes would tell me off, but they should say first. Because it now says forced in big, there's no confusion. I want a bottle of forced. It's pink. Now you go on the website, forced in big, pink liquid, check out, done, easy. Not, I was looking for forced, all I can find is this agloss. So yeah, lesson learned, not, as I say, not for the wrong reasons, just understanding customers, how they're using products and how they're buying them.
The phrase idiot-proof perhaps isn't polite, but it's that kind of... Just make it as easy for people to find it as you
Absolutely.
can.
Yeah. Being a Scandinavian name that nobody can pronounce is not easy. Then having product names that nobody really understands isn't easy. Then telling them that, oh no, that bottle isn't called Aggle, it's called glass. What? 3 things that could really make it difficult to sell.
And one other thing, I do like the sort of punctuation marks that you put in things, but from a magazine point of view, finding a font that supports all the umlauts, cedillas, graves, and acutes that you've got on them, Moses, I have to be so
That's
careful.
why we had to change over to Adobe for everything.
Yeah, we had to everything purely because of Stjärnagloss, and also spelling Stjärnagloss. I always sort of took the rip because Dom used to take the rip out of me because I could never pronounce it. Or spell it. So now I just misspell it randomly throughout the magazine just to irritate Dom because I have added it to my dictionary, so it does work. But I know he'll read that mag eventually and he'll see it misspelled and he'll get stroppy. And
just put umlauts over everything just to be safe.
Indeed. And how does PJ cope? Because PJ is mostly Norwegian.
Yeah, but he's Swedish. He's pretty amazing.
Well, I was about to say, speaking of somebody who is partially Norwegian,
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, distant, but like 25%. And the Nords and the Swedes they're quite different. They do like to take the piss out of each other.
You're posh Norwegian though, aren't you?
No, technically, my grandmother was Norwegian, but she was Norse, so she was right up at the very top, just outside the Arctic Circle.
Yeah, but
Eskimo.
posh end of it.
No, not particularly.
Wasn't the other side?
Well, they were apparently in a carpet factory or something.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think.
I thought there was more.
Oh, there is a bit of royal blood from kind of the next generation beyond my great grandparents, but that's different. Yeah.
So no claim to the throne.
No, God no.
Ice Tower or whatever they have up there.
No.
They ride bears. They ride polar bears, aren't they?
I've seen. Yes. What was it? There was that documentary called "The Amber Spyglass."
Golden Compass or something.
Yeah, by Philip Pullman, that historian.
Very good.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. It's like that other historical drama I've been watching, Harry Potter. It's remarkable. There are so many things that I just like, oh, that's where we got it from, you know.
It would be so easy if we just used the magic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was looking around trying to find other Scandinavian sound effects things, and I was coming up pretty blank because there's not a lot of information. I did get one. Can you identify this sound?
I know what it is. It's the mating call of an elk, isn't it?
It is. Any other?
Reindeer?
It's,
I was going to say moose, but I don't think they're in Norway.
It is a bull moose. That's what came up for Norway. But it's more specific than that. It's a bull moose that's stood on a piece of Lego at 3:00 in the morning.
I was good.
That's PJ.
I was going to ask you how you made the moose make that noise and what you did to it.
Crept up. Sneaky like that.
Secret penetration.
The antlers really give a good grip.
Oh, you're in a good mood this morning.
No, that is one
Moose
thing
wasn't.
we haven't done enough of is
What,
connect
moose?
with.
Moose abuse. Moose abuse. That's got to be a new tagline.
That will get views.
Yes.
No, that is one thing we haven't done enough of because of last year
And
lockdown. We haven't connected enough with Sweden because we haven't been allowed to go over there. I've never been. Need to go to Gatbill. Need to go and understand a little bit more about lifestyle and culture. Obviously, IKEA
Why?
is as close as I've got to Sweden, really.
Why? To sell car shampoo, why do you need to know about culture and lifestyle?
Because I obviously pride ourselves on the content.
Yeah.
And we've just been on a trip to Wales to give the atmosphere of Sweden, because the long beaches, the mountains,
Slightly inbred.
Oh.
We're cutting that out.
He won't, tragically.
Oh my God.
And I'm the one who has to deal with the letters.
So we went there to try and replicate Sweden because that's our roots. And you say why to sell car care products? It's a fair question, but why not? Nobody else is doing it, so we're going to do it.
That's a perfectly legit excuse. And let's talk briefly about the vehicle that you've been playing with.
I'm actually quite nervous to say this, but by the time this comes out, it will be old news. But it's really strange to be able to talk about it.
I love it, though. I have to admit, because you could have either gone Volvo
Of course.
or you could have gone Saab, and you went the latter.
Could have gone Koenigsegg.
Could have gone Koenigsegg.
Budget didn't allow, funnily enough.
Oh, just ask Dom. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Cat
Can you
S.
sell that Club Sport S? I need a Koenigsegg.
Don't get your wheel nut for a Koenigsegg.
Yeah. So Saab, you're absolutely right. We had the two options, generally speaking, Saab or Volvo. Volvo's cool. Saab, cooler because it doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The architect thing from Top Gear always makes me chuckle. This couldn't be further from an architect car. So it's a Saab 9.6 from 1974. It has the Saab 9.3 2-litre turbo from 2004.
Because originally it would have had the Ford V4, which is it was a 2-stroke, wasn't it? And you had to keep revving it on the down to
lubricate
keep
the
it going. Yeah, I
Daft.
drove a race-prepared one of those, fully caged up and prepared for a very short driver. And it was when I was working for a classic car company, and I managed... Have I said this on a podcast before?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it conked out at a funeral, and I blocked the whole funeral in this fully liveried up old classic Saab. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
No, carry on. I enjoyed that.
I don't remember any of that, so it shows how much I pay attention here.
In fairness, you do much more drugs than we do.
Imagine why.
to get through.
I like the rabbits. They're great. They keep the place entertaining.
So, yes, old shell, relatively new-ish engine, circa 400 brake, wide body, airlift, because the splitter is daft. everything is out of
Why?
proportion.
I understand splitters on nice circuit races. That's for aerodynamics. But people, I mean, I've taken a splitter off. I had a lovely STI splitter on one of my scoops, and I took it off because it kept on rubbing everywhere. And there's no benefit unless you're doing 150 miles an hour.
I know you're going to hate this answer.
Okay.
Because it gets likes on Instagram. And unfortunately, engagement sells products. That is how you reach new people.
I can't question that.
But I hate that answer. I hate that answer too because it is annoying, but it does look cool.
You could make it fun. I mean, because it sticks out, about a foot or so from the front of the car? 2 foot from the car. I'm just thinking shopping centre, high speed, Saturday afternoon. You could do a lot of damage there. You could
add some value. We could.
Hey, you were down in Southend the other day. All the Royals and that's closed down. You could go through Debenhams.
Oh, good.
They like modified cars down there.
They do. I don't think they'd like this one. The most asked question is, what is it? Which is, we will re-educate. We will put it on the internet.
It's non-car people.
Nobody knows. No, a lot of car people
Not
as well.
real car people. No, you're talking about Volkswagen enthusiasts. I'm talking about proper car enthusiasts who would know damn straight what that car is.
I would say it's an age thing, to be completely honest. Because if you've passed your test in the last 10 years, you could well not know who Saab is.
Well, no, but as a car enthusiast, which happens from birth, I mean, my first word was tractor. I could say Lamborghini before I could say mother. So, that's quite something,
That
apparently.
is something.
And old
More down to
Saabs.
psychiatry. Repression.
Yes. Yeah, it turns out.
Feed me, Lamborghini. Won't you feed me?
They just put me in a convent when I was 4 months old, so they went on holiday. Technically, I was in like a boarding convent for 2 weeks, turns out. I've only recently learned this when I saw a receipt.
You still think they were trying to baptise you every time?
I always hated the water. But anyway, no, I think everybody should know. I think there should be some sort of license. Speaking here, I obviously running PVD sort of thing, we do a lot of how to establish a professional from an enthusiast and amateur. I'm thinking we should do a similar thing for car enthusiasts, and that if you want to call yourself a proper car enthusiast, you need to pass some sort of test and accreditation.
So I would fail your test because the podcast that I've listened to, you geek out. And I'm like, God.
We haven't even got started. On these rates, we have to keep it simple for the masses.
And there's a few times where you've sort of stopped yourself and I'm thinking, you could have gone deeper, and I have no clue what you're talking about. But the things that we have, obviously I like cars for different reasons to why both of you like cars, of course. I love value for money. I like big cars that have depreciated, and now I can drive around there.
Well, you and I have got similar tastes because you like big, scary black saloon cars.
Yeah.
And I've got
sort of fits that profile.
Yeah, exactly. You turned up looking like a gangster from the late 80s.
Early 90s, thank you.
Okay. My bad.
When I was born. So I love the fact that people ask, because obviously its job is to draw attention. Oh, sorry, one thing to mention, it's in Porsche. Is it grey black or black grey? It's the 997 GT3 RS colour that was famously on Top Gear with the red wheels. You know, where they did the American trip there, the SLS.
Yes, is that the very
458.
expensive? There's one silver or something that Porsche do that's very, very, very expensive.
No, it's dark, really dark grey, but no flake. It's a flat colour, beautiful, really underused. Obviously, grey is very on trend.
Looks a little bit battle trippy.
No, darker than
Not that one.
It's darker than the speakers behind you. Sorry, I know that means nothing to anybody listening to this.
It's all right. They're watching in black and white.
It could be black. It's that dark of a grey. But yes, the question is asked a lot. What is it? But as I say, that is its job. Get people over. Let's talk. What do you do? We sell car cleaning products. Oh, I'll follow you on Instagram. Fantastic. Potential customer. But yes, we've done our trip in.
So is that your plan? Just drive around the countryside in an old Saab, waiting for old people to come up to you and say, "Oh, I remember those.
I'm
What do
going
you
to buy that
do,
for my
sir?"
grandson.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's
We're
the
going to go old school.
winning one
door-to-door.
customer at a time, and if they don't buy it, I'm going to skin them with my big splitter.
If car care doesn't work out, I'm going to go back into double glazing. So yes, the Saab is out now. We launched it Friday just gone. The car show, its first car show that it will go to is Players Classic, and unfortunately I already twatted the front splitter getting it off the recovery truck. But yeah, it was a long time in the making as well, because of lockdown. What's the point in releasing a car just to go on the internet?
Because you went to the top of a mountain, say.
Yeah, Black Mountain Pass in Wales, which is beautiful, but the weather is crazy.
It's
Is that
very
the tornado
sunshine.
run place?
Maybe. It certainly changes dead quick, the weather around there.
Really, really quick.
There's an area where the tornadoes do their low altitude training.
That sort of tornado. I was thinking meteorological.
No, not like cyclones and witches and cottages and people landing. And
Well, I got a photo on there,
Lions.
and I stopped. I've got Boris the Outback before I'd lifted him, and I took him slightly off the road, so it can be a good shot. And I walked about. I was running a long lens, so it took me about 10 minutes to walk, kind of to where I wanted to shoot it from. And by that time, clouds had moved in and covered the car, and I couldn't get the shot. That was.
I mean, you
that
say
was how rapid.
clouds, oil smokes.
No,
Pretty similar.
No, I always shoot downwind for that very reason.
So yeah, that was a long time in the making, but it just didn't do it justice. It's not a car that can just go on the internet, because I feel that social media loves new things, whereas real life people in person enjoy older things. And I know, again, I'm going back to engagement, but I didn't just want it to. There was a few people that dropped cars last year, and I was like, oh my God, you've put all that time and money and effort into something that is probably just going to get scrolled past. Granted, I could go to a car show and people just stroll past it. It's the same difference, but it needed to have impact. And we were very fortunate to be able to build a show car within 2 years of launching.
And do you own the car? I mean, where is the car?
It's a Stjärnagloss owned car. It's got an MOT. It's perfectly road legal, but you wouldn't, because it's just crash bang wallop fast and bit too quick. I think it's 1,100 and something kilo and just shy of 400 brake. So power to weight, as Dom likes to say, is better than a Ferrari F40. It's nothing like that though, because it's a muscle car. Obviously, with the air ride, it's not great in corners, and there is no power until 4,000 revs. The second cam comes on song, the turbo comes on song, and then you've got about 1,500 RPM where you just hold on
and pray,
change gear, and then you get a bit of a break, and then it's there we go again. But yeah, 160 quick.
Christ, yeah.
But yeah, that feels good to be out. And as you said, we had to go with either or, Volvo or Saab. Everybody kept saying go Volvo, but I mean, with the utmost respect, there's a lot of Volvos out there, especially in Sweden, the big V8s.
And those, because the old school rear wheel drive ones are very easy to put a big V8 in, slam it down, and obviously they're built. You don't even need a roll cage in half of them because they're so damn stiff.
Sips, yeah, exactly. Maybe for the future, but for the first car, it had to be something unique. And it had to get us a ton of attention. And it will probably get a load of negativity. Why did you put that much money into a car that you can't buy parts for?
It's your money.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't need to be justified. It just needs to get attention. And it definitely does.
Yeah, that's very cool. Of all the, when kind of, I was going to say when growing up, but that sounds wrong. Historically, what's been your favourite manufacturer kind of owned or sponsored car in car care? So there are loads, for example, Maguire's have got quite a few, and they've got a
police car, haven't they? The Crown Vic.
Crown Vic police car, but they've also more recently done a couple of other ones which are kind of funky. One or two are very silly. There's an old Mercedes saloon which is very cool.
Tom's. Are you talking about car care manufacturers, show cars?
Yeah, show cars. What's your favourite show car?
So
car care
probably Tom's Renault 5 dimmer in liquid yellow. I just think it's the perfect balance of Ali G.
I was going to say exactly that.
But because it's liquid yellow, because he's got the Recaro, I can't remember what the seats are called, from the new 197 and 200, with the, I don't know what the wheels are called, but they remind me of the 205 1.9 speed line, but they're a deep dish. I couldn't even imagine, if I had unlimited funds, I couldn't have done a better job than he did. Like, just everything's perfect. I love the mix of old and new. I love the fact that he didn't go airlift, which everybody does. Obviously, I've just said we did it. They're not particularly fast. They're not well built, but there's something about a Renault 5.
I mean, I saw you eyeing up the Shetland Blue 1.2 TR out front.
I do love a French piece of shit. I've had many hatchbacks.
Steady. We haven't sold it yet. Speaking of which, I mean, what's your next project car? Do you want something French? Because the Swedes and the French get on very well. They make casseroles.
It's way too early to say next car, because this needs to earn some money and get us some points. That's probably at least 18 months down the road.
So there's going to be turning up to all shows when they finally start happening.
Yeah,
again,
we will have just been to Players Classic down at Goodwood, which feels like a great show to have launched the car at, because Players is a legend. Classic, it is a classic, of course. Beautiful, good
Show.
ones.
It's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show. Plenty of bodies, the right sort of people looking at it, great content creators. So it's going to be getting the right sort of exposure. And then we've got another one, middle of the country, which is Broke Boys. But then again, I feel that a lot of people, because of the recent "you're not allowed back out again," it's kind of unsettled everything. You know, can we go? Are people taking bookings? Are they reserving how many tickets they're selling? So I just, much like everybody else, just want rid of it, just so we can go back to normal. As
Yeah.
we keep saying.
Yeah.
I imagine you're going to have a lot of fun at Waxstock next year.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot
Because
wait.
we haven't seen you live at Waxstock
No.
yet, have we?
No, and I've not done a show. I have not done a show representing the brand, because the first one we went to was a disaster, and then we went into lockdown. And
What happened on the first show?
I don't want to get into it.
Just between you and me.
We wasn't
No, it's listening.
we wasn't taken seriously,
Oh, okay.
and now we are. It's been sorted and resolved, but I'm desperate. And one criticism of that people have said is that a very old-fashioned salesman can be a little bit pushy, but that's what I love doing. I love talking to real people and selling them my wares, and I haven't been able to do that.
And those are the enthusiastic people who react to that kind of sales
yes,
technique.
Yeah,
They're,
they
they're
got
the
on board
ones
with it.
that commit to a brand and really buy into the whole scene, if you like.
Yeah.
Well, I happen to have seen the schematics for the stage for Waxstock 2022, and I've seen they put extra reinforcements in there. So I'm thinking, are you going to be doing breakdancing, or is there something happening
Is
there
there
that
a
we don't know
pole?
about? Yeah,
There-
and the
there was a
PA
whole-
system has got now subs, which is pretty impressive. So I'm guessing,
It's
you
the
know,
bucket of water above.
yeah, exactly, and
Watching the
all the
flash dance
gunk.
finish.
Yeah, I was getting a bit of an old house party feel about it. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what you got planned, but don't worry, I'll hack into the nail server again and find out.
no, I think the reinforcements are just in case we have another year of lockdown and everybody puts an extra stone on. No, it would be so good. All shows greatly appreciated. We'll take whatever we can get, but Waxstock obviously is the detailing show, of course, and there have been so many brands that have been so supportive of Stjärna that I haven't said hello to in real life, and the occasional message on Instagram. I want to go and shake some hands. I want to go and say hello to some people, and also there's some people that said you'll never make anything of it that I want to go and give a V to. And it's such a strange environment. There aren't, apart from House of Fraser and Debenhams, where do you get that many competitors under one roof? It's a strange spot, Waxstock, of course. Generally speaking, everybody handles it really, really well. But I cannot wait to go there wearing the stripes and be like, come on, who's going to sell the most? Who's going to get the biggest queue or whatever? I think a little bit of competition is good as long as it's good energy.
Yeah.
But I just can't wait to get in. But yeah, unfortunately now another wait.
Well, my only piece of advice would be is on the night before, make yourself go to bed by sort of midnight. I've not managed to get to bed before 2:00, and every morning of
Just
Waxstock
hurts.
is just a blur of pain and agony.
Yeah, I learnt that lesson quite quickly. Just it feels like, oh yeah, let's all have a beer. You just don't think about the following morning.
No.
And then it's just regret. Oh no, I've got to talk to people for however long, 7-8 hours. Talk about detailing. They're on it. They're excited. I'm not. Oh my God, what have I done?
Standard life. So I think that brings us to our final section on a little bit of car news, do we think?
I think so.
Welcome to Pro Detailer Car News. Goddamn hay fever.
Keep going. So there's 4 seconds left.
Car news, cars. So, with the car news section, thank you. We are obviously have got Cav here, and he is a car man. You said you weren't as much of a car man as us.
I thought I was a car man until I listened to this podcast, and there's knowledge flying around that I was just straight over my slick back hair.
Seriously, between the three of us, our hit rate on first dates is pretty low. It's pretty low. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm trying to think back to those days of singlehood, and it was saying you're a car fan, and then we'd always get ourselves into trouble. Anyway, you are a Jag man, aren't you?
I am a Jag man.
You've rolled up in a 2.7 V6 Peugeot engined Jaguar, which you love.
Is that true?
It is true. It's a 2.7 HDI. It is.
TDV6.
Yeah, no, it's an HDI. It's where it came from.
I'm not ready to accept.
No, well, okay.
Because
Well,
that one had done 230,000 miles. No Peugeot does 230,000
yes,
miles.
they damn well do.
Oh,
Proper
no.
old Peugeot. There are Peugeots in Africa, 504s and stuff, that are like 1,000 years old, probably.
Trigger's broom, maybe.
It sounds like a charity appeal. There are Peugeots in Africa.
Give a quiz.
I
I did not know that.
Yeah, no,
Wow,
it's a
okay.
French engine you've got there. But that's no bad thing.
Sorry,
The
finger
car
slip
before that, the Clio Trophy, the 182 Trophy, that obviously everything was French, and that engine was
Hey, holding their money, they
stellar.
are.
They've
Oh,
gone
yeah.
up since I sold mine, unfortunately.
Oh.
So I don't. That's not a criticism. Saxo VTR and VTSs, they were all great engines. Everything else, wishbones, top mounts,
Yep.
terrible. Engines were good. So okay, that's not bad. I don't like the fact that a British inverted commas car has
slash
a French
Indian,
engine
slash
slash Charter
formerly
Steel.
American. Yeah.
It's a bit really. But yeah, I have got an XJ. It's my 6th one.
Blimey. So what was your... That is an X350 chassis, isn't it?
X358.
358.
It's a big bumper.
Facelift of the 350, yeah. It's like the XJ.
It's a facelift of the. What did you say?
X350. So it's just like the X... Was it the X308? What was the predecessor? The good-looking one.
Oh, I can't
The
remember.
proper... The ones... Because you had the
Is it
XJ40 style.
Yeah.
And then you had the next generation, which I think was the X3... Ian, can you help here? I'm running out of Jag knowledge.
Which was that the Daimler one with the square
So I'll be
headlights?
taking photos.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
XJ40
that wasn't
style
really
one.
good. No. The XJ40 was the one before that with the proper iconic rounded headlights. Whereas the three... Oh,
We're out of car knowledge here.
Are we talking Sovereign sort of era?
No, because
What
Sovereign's
we
just a
up to?
spec.
I wasn't actually listening.
Yeah, Sovereign is just a spec. You get a Sovereign version of pretty much your car on the
Daimler.
top spec,
that is a
non-sporty
Sovereign.
one.
But
That is a Sovereign.
it didn't really do so much. It didn't do much to the aesthetic of the outside. Whereas of yesteryear, they turned up, redesigned everything, changed grills, changed headlights, changed.
It was
rear
more
ends.
chromy, wasn't it? The Sovereign was like the SE as opposed to the Sport.
Yes.
And yeah, because actually, I hate to say it, but we need James here. His dad had some of these, and he's talked. Well, he started talking about Jags, and then I just go into a haze, and I can't remember. But
Remember the D-Type?
I don't remember the D-Type. No.
Okay. Beautiful car.
Yes.
Very gangster.
Absolutely. Well, I drove an E-Type Series 1 flat floor, which was one of the very earliest ones, and it gave me the worst back pain I've ever had in my life.
They're just for looking at.
I don't like E-Types.
No. But then you're not a mad fan of F-Types, and I love F-Types. And you both said that you thought F-Types were too small.
No, I think
Yeah.
F-Types are very pretty cars, but they're really...
They're not Jaguar.
I'm not going to...
They're not.
Not going to start a lawsuit for us by giving my opinion on F-Types. Just like Jaguar, listen to this. Perkins, get the lawyers on the phone.
I've only ever had X358s. That car.
That gen, okay.
I love the shape because you've got the classic Jaguar styling.
Yep.
Saloon.
With an aluminium monocoque.
Aluminium body, lightweight, really good on fuel.
Like,
1,500 kilo.
Is it?
1,500 kilo.
No.
1,550.
what about
No.
with the engine?
1,550.
Not a chance.
Aluminium. Everything is aluminium.
Ian,
Google it.
Google
it right now.
this stuff. Yeah, I know. I drive an Audi D2, which are aluminium, and it's again like the X350. It's full aluminium rather than just aluminium panels put on there.
What's that weighing?
That's more like 1750, and
With
that's
a 4.2.
No, I've only got the 3.7. That's my environmentalist car.
You must have 200 kilo of engine.
Well,
I'm
but
feeling
hang on.
confident.
2.7 V6 diesel is not a light engine.
Twin turbo, thank you. I'm confident. I'm confident at
What spec are
1,550.
we looking at, sorry?
X358, 2.7 TDVI.
Wikipedia that.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, have you owned? Have they always been diesels? Have you owned the good ones?
No, I had a V8 petrol one for not very long because they are horrific on fuel and they're not quick.
1653.
Oh, I was 100 kilo out.
Yeah, that's
150
a burst.
exactly.
16.5 out.
Yeah.
16.50.
Hang
That's
on.
still light.
Search Audi D2.
4 ton.
I want to know. I want to know which of our cars is heavy. We need to make a big seesaw and then basically drive
Well,
up
to
that.
be fair, whatever car I get in is going to be the heavier one, isn't it?
Well, you say
I'm in
that.
it.
Yeah, but hang on. How much do you weigh? This is getting a bit personal.
Many.
now.
20 stone.
20. Okay,
So that's a
well,
lot of
I'm
kilos.
18. So yeah, we'd have
Oh,
to
okay.
we'd have to sort of establish some sort of ballast rule. Or if we did a seesaw, I could just work out the
D2
maths.
1725.
Yeah.
There's only 70
So
kilo in it.
I'm the fat man in the room, which is not much has changed. You've
Well,
had
you're in
that.
the room now.
Yeah, I had a couple of diesel ones, and then the V8 one, which was just horrendous on fuel. Wasn't particularly quick. Wasn't any smoother than the. I was just like, why? All right, it sounded lovely. Obviously,
Was
all
it a
V8s do.
4.2?
They were 4.
I think it is a 4.2 in the later 350.
Yes, the 4.2 Sport, and then the XJR is the 4-litre supercharged. So 4.2 supercharged.
Correct.
I didn't get it. The supercharged one, of course, it's quick, and that serves a purpose. But the naturally aspirated petrol one did nothing for me.
I have to admit, when I was looking to buy a big sim, because back in the reason I got the D2 was so that I could tow a show car to shows. My dad had an Mark II Jag, which was what we were towing around the place. And S-Class, you couldn't get it with a tow knob on the back. 7 Series, well, it's BMW. So it was then between the Jag. And the Jag, out of their 4.2 NatAsp, I think they got 300 brake or 290 brake.
I was going to say, I don't think it's in the 3.
Something like that. Whereas Audi got 360 out of a 4.2 with 5 valves per cylinder but no forced aspiration. And that's pretty much why I went for the Audi. And it was cheaper. That also made quite a big difference. And it was 4-wheel drive. But yeah.
So it was that 4.2 in the XF as well, wasn't it? It's the 4.2 supercharged, or was it 3 litre?
No.
The 5-litre, the XF.
It was 5 litre.
It's a 5 litre.
Which was also used in the Range Rover Sport, the autobiography. And
You're thinking of the S-Type R, which I really, really quietly like. I know it's a Lincoln underneath.
Yeah.
That's what Dale's got, isn't it?
Dale-
3-litre V6 supercharged.
Meg's
Yes,
Yeah.
Dale.
That is a gorgeous, gorgeous car. And that's 4.2 supercharged. That was 400 brake on the button as well.
And he's made it manual.
Has he?
God,
I don't know, but I haven't talked to Dale
done
for
a rubbish
ages.
manual conversion in a car.
Shut up.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in the flesh yet. But
Well, look,
that's the
Daventry's
only
not
thing.
far away. If we take the Audi with a proper engine, we can be there in an hour.
Do you happen to know how many clutches he's gone through since he did the change?
I think he's
Because somebody else has done that and gone through 3.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. It's not in an S-Type. I was going to say that this is a world's first for him.
The S8.
Oh.
This is the S8, of which there are only 3 right-hand drive manual conversions in the world.
For a reason.
And one of them is mine, but it was kind of the development model. And
There are only 2 world wars. It doesn't mean another one's a good idea.
I don't know, give it time. Brexit followed by war, standard. But yes, wow, I didn't know that. I'm going to have to go and tap Dale up.
Yeah, it's cool. That's the only thing that will potentially knock off the Renault 5 of I love it. It's so cool. And it's such a unusual car to modify.
Well, I do like the kind of whole sleeper thing. Sleepers for me.
Well, no, this is very race car look.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got 2 personalities. One of them's 17 years old, one of them's 70.
There are pills you can take that kind of help sort of soften the edges.
It's a winter and summer thing. Generally speaking, the sun comes out, I want a hatchback, so I get back in another Clio or something. Citroen.
Or a Renault 1.2 TR.
Yeah, that'd be good. And we'll give you some lithium as we.
for sale.
That helps balance things out, basically. Just don't take too much, turns you crazy.
And then as soon as summer's gone, rain kicks in, I want something more comfortable, so I get back in another XJ. But I cannot find, and I would love your opinion, I cannot find something that does both. And I keep landing on an M3, and I don't want an M3.
No, quite right.
Because everyone's
What don't you
one.
like about the M3?
I love the M3. I don't love the fact that I passed 50 on the way here.
Does it have to be an M car?
How much horsepower do you want? Hang on, let's do this properly. How much horsepower do you want?
Why do you ask?
Because I used to do car brokering, so when people would come to me asking what sort of car they should get, and I'd go through a certain process, and this isn't it because it was many years ago and I can't remember. I had a proper form. I made an Excel spreadsheet that was
I
self-fulfilling.
don't care.
Okay.
I don't care about numbers.
Is fuel efficiency important for
Yes.
I'm sorry to say the answer is actually a Tesla Model S.
I am not ready yet.
It's the answer to the question you don't want to ask.
Yeah. I know it's the future.
A sensible car that you can go mental in if you want.
Yeah. And free.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about, I hate to say it, but something like a 530D Touring? That's very sensible.
But the problem is with the BMW brand,
Yes.
and hear me out, I'm talking to you as an Instagram-focused brand.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing unique in a 530 diesel. There is nothing unique in an F80, an E92. Great cars, but that it does not separate me from everybody else. So I need to think a little bit outside the box. I'm thinking E36 M3, cool, modern classic. Mark 1 Focus RS, appreciating classic. Not bad on fuel because it's a Z-Tech, still used today.
Mm-hmm.
Not terrible for parts. Looks great. Relatively comfortable. Somewhat fast. Good in corners. Loving them. E36 M3, I'm fearful that it's getting a little bit old now. rubbers are going to start perishing. There's
Yes.
going to be a couple of £100 repair bill every month.
And would you go for a coupe or would you go for the rarer, cooler Ford?
Don't care.
No?
Don't care. I've got twins, but they often go in mum's car. So
What about doing a touring conversion? A couple of those have been done.
I would rather just buy something
Okay.
because we've got the show car. Obviously, I don't need something another thing that's going to need constant attention.
What about an old school Audi S6? And I'm talking the one based on the Audi 100 style, mid
I
90s.
am going to piss on your chips.
Okay.
I find Audi very boring.
I totally understand.
Good, but dull.
Yep. Yeah, competent, but that's the thing I get with BMW slightly is if you want a performance car, they say we'll get an M3, and they're absolutely right. It is going to be the most it just does the job. I mean, the latest one obviously is like Gopping, but we always say that when Bangle was around, we kept on taking the piss out of him, and now actually, certainly personally speaking, I rather like a good Banglism.
My thing with BMW, I remember being 11, 12-ish.
I don't.
I saw an E92 on the M25, brand spanking new. We was in the slow lane, he was in the middle lane, and I looked and I thought, it was like a spaceship. It looks so different. But I didn't really know much about cars. I was still too young. Fast forward, the E92 M3, beautiful looking car. The F80, stunning. One of the best back ends. I am not ready to say the G80 is trash because I'm guarantee in 2 or 3 years' time,
Exactly.
it will be, oh my God, how did they do it?
Yeah.
They're so forward thinking. Granted, it was ballsy, it was brave, but I watched so many influencers say it's horrendous, drive it, oh my God, I'm in love.
Mm-hmm.
You look a bit of a tit now because you've said one thing 1 week, 2 weeks go by, you get given one by BMW, and now you've fallen in love with it. Have some morals. Wait a minute. Don't be so quick to jump on the hate thing.
Yeah.
And that's, I will never, I can't bash it because I've cleaned one now. The interior was beautiful. Way too much money. £92,000 on a 3 Series. What on earth is going on? But we don't buy cars like that anymore. We put 10 grand down. We pay X amount a
it's all
month,
financed,
and it's not. That number I think is there almost as marketing because when you go in there, you're going to get a discount. You're going to get this off. You're going to get this included. But I can't afford, and that's another problem as well. Why didn't you get the better one? Why didn't you get the newer one?
Oh, you got the wrong engine.
Yeah, and that's why when you said earlier on about what about a non-M. Going back to Instagram, non-Ms don't get likes. Non-Ms, no one cares about non-Ms.
What you need is to go back in time and get a Lexus with a decent. You need to get Lexus to make the 300 with a decent engine.
Well, wouldn't you say the 300? You mean the GS 300? Yeah, didn't they do a GS full 30 at one point? That's a more interesting engine.
I, much like Audi, find Japanese cars very boring as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's brutal. I can understand your point
Mark
about
IV
Lexus.
Supra, R34, Legends, S15, kind of cool.
Yeah.
But just
Lexus are always the car that surprises you how much you like them, and you would like them as long as you're not driving it. Because as soon as you start driving it, you start getting disappointed. I find.
I'm sure, obviously,
Same as Subarus.
Lexus is the daddy of Toyota, correct?
It's the son of Toyota. It's the Acura, the Infiniti.
It's the luxury brand of
Yes.
Toyota.
Yeah.
And I know they're going to be good, but you just look at them and you think,
Yeah.
dull. The LFA that everybody seems to toot their horn about, I'm like, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Doesn't look all that.
Oh, I think they look quite good. And
I like
actually,
the four exhausts.
the
That's cool.
Lexus Sora. It's not a. Is it a Toyota Sora?
Toyota Sora.
Okay. What's there is a Lexus version of
The
it.
2JZ engine.
Yes.
Is that right?
But is it what do the Lexus call their? Sorry, is it a Chaser or is that something else? No, Chaser's like more saloony. I don't know. We need Matt Bedworth here. He knows all about these things. He once told me every different variation of the 2JZ engine, and I was fascinated. Makes funny noises, huh?
They are. They are.
It's that time of day.
I just don't. Yeah, there's something about Japanese cars. It's just the old ones are cool. You can't use the old ones as dailies. The new ones are not cool.
What about an XF wagon? XFR wagon. It's not very fuel efficient, granted.
I don't care about that. I would live with that. I don't think I can go from the top spec, and I know it's old and it's not the new.
Yeah.
But it feels strange going down on a spec level.
No, I think you'll find because of the age difference that the equipment
It would
on
be
an
seen as an up.
XFR
Yeah.
or just an XF 3-litre diesel estate, because then you get the proper engine, then you've got the space. And I think it was Fifth Gear did a twin test, and they found that the Estate was actually quicker around a track than the Saloon because they'd stiffened up the rear suspension.
I don't hate the idea. I have thought about it. My Jaguar is great for product demonstrations because it is so old. It's done so many miles and it is knackered. It's great to do clay barring and polishing because you get really good before and afters. The XF, I don't think it will get likes because I don't think many people will care about it because it's not a bad car. It's not an amazing car. It's just kind of a good car.
It's got less character.
It sits there and just it is what it is. That's why I'm thinking to go Future Classic because if you get it right and it goes up in value, winner, of course, and you look like what does he know? Like, what was he, a time traveller sort of thing?
And you get to go around and do your whole smug face afterwards.
Yeah. I just made £2,000 for no reason after a year. I need something a little bit photogenic as well because...
Yeah. Tell you what, I said Tesla earlier, completely missed out the Swedish connection. Polestar.
Yes.
They are super awesome cool.
Big money though.
Yeah,
well,
zero BIK though.
And they're bringing out a lower one. They're doing a kind of like Tesla, how they had the S first, and now they do the 3. So Polestar are bringing out cheaper ones that are, I say cheaper, they're still going to be 30, 40 grand, but on finance.
Yeah, of course.
It's be pretty decent. Let's go back in time a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm guessing you're born and bred Essex?
No. Well, yes, sorry, that's a massive lie. Harold Wood. Further into London.
I don't know him, but yeah.
Near Romford.
Near Romford, okay. So what was the first car you stole? Sorry, drove.
First car I had was a 1 litre Peugeot 106 XN called Poppy.
Nice. You name your car, and even though it's only 1 litre, they were awesome. I drove around a 1.1 Zest 3 for a long time.
That's big power. This was 4-speed.
Wow.
Not fast. 50 brake horsepower from factory.
Okay.
But in my opinion, perfect for a first-time driver because I thought I was Colin McRae. I wasn't. I twatted the rear light. I was about to say, and how was the crash? Because safety is not great on a 106. In my defence,
the truck was moving.
I did crash the car, no doubt. But somebody pulled out on me. I hit the rear arch, pushed me up a bank. I don't know how I didn't go on its roof, but I got paid out for the car. Like he took liability and stuff. But considering it was a bean can, it done well. I'm obviously still here to tell. I did crack a rib, but it could have gone a lot worse.
How many crashes you had?
2.
Oh, I win.
1 my fault, 1 somebody else's fault.
How many crashes you had?
Only 1.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't my fault, it was the tree's fault.
4, 4,
Well, I thought you was going to say 14 then.
Yeah, no, he's not a great driver. He's very kind of fervent driving. It's quite scary being the passenger seat next to him.
You know, because you're first, I can talk about this. You know Hanningfield Reservoir?
No.
No, you don't know? Big straight long there, runs on the side of the reservoir. I managed to flip my Fiesta.
Which reservoir?
There. Hanningfield.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that bit. Yes, I do.
Yes, that big long straight. I managed to take too long overtaking, come up to the corner just where it starts to bend round, and flip my Fiesta over there. So that's
and you weren't wearing a seatbelt?
No, I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and
that saved your life.
That did me some proper favours.
He's still got some Essex gravel in his back.
Yeah.
It's literally scarred. You see, we've all got back injuries one way, but mine's from self-flagellation. His is from like bloody car accidenting. It's ridiculous.
I assume when you started going out in the car, you went straight to Brentwood and drove up and down in front of Sugar Hut.
Not in the 106.
No,
I wasn't.
Just parked up outside Sam's.
No, I waited till I had the Saxo VTR, a bit of class.
Ooh, was that car too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Green one, Mark 1.
Is the VTR the fast one, or is that the VTS?
VTS is the.
Yeah.
You've got 108 brake or 125. Mine was 108.
Still a lot in a little tin can.
It's not bad, and they did the handling in the 106 was horrendous because it wasn't a sporty model. It was really boaty. Then getting into something with double the power and double the suspension performance.
Yeah,
I was like, I really am Colin McRae now. Here we go. Turned out to be a cut and shut and snapped in half.
Did you buy it in Essex?
Yeah. No, that's a lie. Actually, it was bought from Hertfordshire.
Oh, okay.
Which I then moved to. Great idea. That one went. Got another one.
Yep. Did you, when you realised it was a cut and shut, did you stop driving it, or did you just set it on
snapped
quietly?
in half.
Oh, it literally snapped in half.
Yeah.
That's awkward.
So I mean, you can still use the front bit.
Yeah. All the bit that matters.
Did anything prompt it, or did it just randomly give you a quick French shrug and then go?
No, went for an MOT. Oh, mate, that's shot to bits. I got there's 20 quid, keep quiet. And then, a matter of weeks later, on one side, and then, just went to the scrap heap. Got another one.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'll do. Let's have another one of those.
Well, it's technically your third
which is
because you had two halves.
2 halves. Another VTR and then a VTS.
When you could afford to insure it.
It was, I think it was 21, or maybe just younger, 20. Insurance went from sort of.
Hang on, you got through 4 cars before you were 20.
Yeah,
Christ.
I'm proud of that. The VTS was a quick one, 160 brake, 2 bucket seats and a roll cage. That was it. Just used to go up and down South End and up on the handbrake to rolling burnouts. Then got a job as a salesman for a welding supplies company and sat in a Fiat Doblo van for 3 years.
God, that's unfortunate. You had the cut and shut before you had the welding company thing, because otherwise you could have put the two together. Yeah.
But the Fiat Doblo van was great. 105 brake, multi-jet, no aircon.
So 1.3?
6.
1.6.
The fast one. The 1.3 was the 90 brake horsepower one. I had all the extra power.
Get you.
It was a great. I'd done 100,000 miles in that thing in 2 years. It took some beating.
They're not the last word in prettiness, though.
Hideous.
Yes.
And obviously the Fiat Doblo is the Vauxhall combo. It's the same van, different badge.
Yeah.
Somehow the Fiat badge makes it look even worse. And I have nothing against Fiat. I don't really care for them or against them, but it just awful looking van.
If you park it next to a multipler, it looks a bit better.
Yeah, it's the
whole
hotter cousin.
Yeah, it's the whole whatchamacallit. What's that film where you did was it Anchorman or something where they did? No, I can't remember. I don't do popular culture. I've had enough of it. Okay, so you Dobloed.
A Dobloed, and then moved to Ibiza for 6 months. Moved back.
Wild. What did you have in Ibiza? A Vitara.
No, I had my sandals and my Air Force Ones. Then the XJ saga started.
The phase,
yeah.
yes.
Because my dad had XJs from as long as I can remember. All V6 ones, all the XJ6, like the lesser, not the.
Well, they'd be straight six if it was old.
Straight six, sorry.
Sixes.
I thought yes.
Yours is a V6, but the others had the correct
You're
straight
right,
six.
Sorry. He had a XJ8 as well, and again, he lost one bank after 3 weeks of ownership. He had some really bad luck with Jaguar. I don't know why I ended up getting into them, but I've had really, really good luck. Couple of alternators, some suspension issues, but nothing horrendous. Whereas Dad's was like cars written off.
So on his Jag, he had to have a job done on the bank, as in a bank job, in an old Jag.
In a Jag with a...
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to try and evolve that better, but then you started moving on, and I thought, crap, this joke's only going to work if I get in there quickly, and then it's crap.
Yeah, he had many, and then I got the first XJ, and then all of a sudden he came out with a Kia Niro. I was like, Dad,
Crikey.
What happened here?
He's like a reverse midlife.
Yeah, awful. He got a dog and a Kia Niro. I was like, what's happened here? Have I turned into you and you've turned into some
wearing
old
moccasins as well.
He started wearing linen shirts. Who is this
Watch
man?
out, he'll take up golf next.
Oh, he already did. He got a Kia Niro, then he had a Kia something. What's is it the Sportage, the one that sells really, really well?
As opposed to the Stinger, which is the nice one.
Stinger's awesome. I saw one.
Stinger's very
There's
cool.
no such thing as a nice Kia.
The Stinger.
Sorry,
really
that is a mid-noughties opinion. Hyundai and Kia are seriously good cars. Now, i30N, for example, they are really going up.
I'm not putting Hyundai and Kia in the same category.
Well, they're the same company.
You can say what you want. This is my opinion. This is my microphone. I'm going to talk into it. I'm going to say what I want.
You do that. Yeah.
I don't. Whoa.
Yeah.
No.
For the benefit of the audience, he's just been muted.
It's a very fair point. There's something about the Kia brand that feels very naff, whereas the i30N.
It's when a car brand pitches most of their advertising about having TV screens in the back. That was Kia's big selling point, wasn't it? With the van that because they had the people carrier, didn't they?
Didn't know they had a selling point.
They were
the Kia Carens.
It was one of them. I'm sure it was the Kia that one of the first to include TV screens in the back of the headrest for the kids as standard.
Oh God! Oh, I can see them doing that as a little add-on, and you get this.
It was the 7-year warranty.
Yes.
Thing, which I know that it's an amazing thing.
I've never owned a car. No, I have owned one car that had a warranty. Everything else has not had a warranty.
Yeah, I'm like you. I like to live in the danger zone.
I like them older.
Just out of warranty as well, when it's all going to go wrong.
Yes.
They've lost all their money, but they've also got to incur a lot of problems.
Well, it's lasted this long. It can't go... Oh.
What's that noise? Turn the music up.
Yeah. Is that your timing chain?
I think, do you know what? I think it was my dad that ruined the Kia brand for me. because he used to. I used to think my dad was cool when he had these Jaguars, and then he got that. I was like, ugh, maybe Jaguar isn't cool.
So actually, this is more of a psychological issue. This is something you probably need to therapize.
We're unearthing quite a lot.
I'm having exactly the same problem because I keep looking at M135s and 140s, but unfortunately, my parents have got a 1.6 litre 1 Series, and I can't own a 1 Series now.
No, they've written the brand off for you. They've written that model off.
Thanks.
That's weird because
That plus genetics. Great.
Well, the scary thing is I'm completely the opposite. I've realised I was going through my childhood cars, as what parents had, and I realised I've had quite a few of them, and the same model. So they in the late 80s had Model X, and I had the same Model X in 2010. And it was crap then, and it was crap 30 years later. Funny enough,
Has Dad still got the A3?
Yes, he's still got the A3. He's on his third A3, and they get more and more boring. And bear in mind, it started as a 2-litre diesel, but it had red leather interior.
Was
which
it
was
now
the
racy?
Yeah, then he went for
5.
Huh?
Was it now the A30?
No, it's even worse. It's the 1. No, he's still got the older 1.4 TSI.
Okay. Can you decipher Audi
Only
names?
because my next door neighbour I don't know if he's either a salesman or the brand manager or something of the Audi dealership. Turns up in a different Audi every day. 30, 35, 40. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, you got a 35, so you got a 3.5 litre? No, 3 litre, not 5 litre?
And the 35 was really pussy as well. 35's like 17 horsepower or something.
That was the one that sparked the conversation. He turned for an A35. Yeah. And I was like, no way is this a 3.5 litre. Like it wasn't running. I was like, talk to me. Because it looked quite nice. It had some nice big wheels, big brakes. And I was like, surely not. This is not a new Clio V6 or something like that. It was like, no, it's 1.5. I was like, oh, okay. Turbo? I think it is.
Yeah.
Microscopic. But to the best of my knowledge, just take 2 away from the first number.
Okay.
So 35 is 1.5, 45.
I hate to breach. I know
It's
the
one of these
principle.
it's non-logarithmic.
Yeah, no, the principle, because I did actually read a technical bulletin from Audi about it. It's to do with power bands. So 35 refers to a power band of something like 120 to 134.5 horsepower, because obviously they work in PS because Germans. And it's really pointlessly stupid because also the power remains consistent across the range. So if you've got a 40 in an A3 size car, that might be reasonably nippy. But if you've got a Q7 with a 40, that's going to be very, very slow. So it is, and I blame BMW. And the reason I blame BMW is that in the olden days, a 318 had a 1.8.
Yeah.
And a 323 had a 2.3, or it might have done. But then they suddenly said, right, a 325, a 323 still got a 2.5. It's just detuned from the 325, and it went downhill from there.
They did it with Mini as well. All their engines were detuned.
Yeah, the 1.6 to the 1 was detuned.
Yeah.
By about gave like 30 brake horsepower difference, and then you went up into the which was just better.
Yeah. So we still haven't answered.
Even Mercedes are bad now. So I was looking at A classes this morning, and so I quite like A220s, the AMG version, the petrol. And I saw an A220D, which is a 2.1 CDI.
Oh, okay.
I was okay, so A220, so it's going to be sort of the faster one. It's like 8.2 seconds to 60.
Yeah, well, Mercedes had that 2.1 diesel for so long.
It's everything.
It's literally everything.
Everything.
But they respect them, though. In their latest 350 CDIs is actually a fairly new inline 6 3-litre, which is quite a serious motor. And if you look at old Mercedes diesels, there are some drift cars, for example, running 800 horsepower, and they are ancient old straight 6 diesels.
Wow.
With
you just have to worry about the rust.
Is the new A45S out yet?
Yes.
Is that the 450?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is obscene.
And they've actually made the A35, because I've seen a couple of races of the A35, is as it's supposed to go against the S3 as opposed to the RS3 Audi. And basically Audi are lying about their performance figures because they're always quicker. And same with the whole VAG group, is that the Golf GTI Club Sport beat cars like the Civic Type R, which has got considerably more horsepower supposedly. And in a recent drag, they were completely lost out. Whereas the A35 seems to be generally a bit of a disappointment. The A45 is as bonkers and crazy as as it used to be.
Yeah. It fascinates me that my boys, who are only 2 now, in 15 years' time...
How many did you have at the beginning?
They whistle them down over time.
You're not good enough.
Starts as octuplets.
In 15 years' time, what was my Peugeot 106 XN at 500 quid?
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, an A35 could be all right, bit of inflation, could be a $5,000 car in 15 years' time, or even an A45 could be a $7-8 grand car. They are not having 450 brake when they're 18.
I mean, I love the optimism that it's going to survive 15 years before it blows away in dust.
Yeah, I hate to say it, from a 2-litre engine getting that sort of power. I mean, with Scoobs out the factory, you used to get 300 horsepower of a 2-litre, no problem at all. And with a bit of tuning and stuff, 400 brake is possible. Now everybody gets terribly excited because suddenly you can make 400 horsepower out of 2 litres. No, we've been doing it for years. It's
But
just
it
that now
comes
Audi
with a
do it.
warranty. That's saying something.
Subarus came from a warranty.
Not after you've fettled them.
No, true. You'd have to unfettle them, which is really difficult when it's upside down and on fire.
Oh no, take it off. Take it off.
My bottom end's gone. Get that filter off.
I just think that's insane that manufacturers are now putting warranties on supercar hunting
Yeah.
hatchbacks.
And you get these 80, I mean, you talk about your love of Instagram, all those kids going around London with far too much money in very, very powerful cars and having silly accidents the whole time. It is terrifying. I see an RS3 now and I expect to see a 16-year-old kid who's not stolen it, like in the old days. He's just financed
£500 a month.
Yeah, drives like an absolute tit. And I'm sitting there thinking I'm pretty cool with a 260 horsepower V8 getting beaten by bloody diesel. I got taken by a, so to speak, by a 118i BMW 1 Series yesterday.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
In fairness, I've got long gearing, but it was at Chippenham on a dual carriageway and he was annoying me. So I just thought, right, you're going to taste a bit of my V8 now, sunshine. And I held it down in second, which was a mistake because in second it gets up to almost 100 miles an hour on my box. That's how long gearing it is.
Wow.
Yeah. And he just stayed level with me and he just looked at me like this and I looked at him. And
All right, Granddad!
it was all right though, because I realised he looked at me and I turned around. I've got my full Taliban beard on at the moment, and then he backed off. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't to do with lack of power. It was just because he was a bit scared, and I look a bit rapey in my beard.
Oh my God!
You can sue that in Chippenham. It's a place for that sort of thing.
It's not the beard; it's the eyes.
Well, also you might have watched Crime Watch the night before.
It's the register on the passenger seat.
Clang.
You say about Instagram, the amount of so I say I'm looking for cars. I'm looking at 4 Series and things like that, and the amount of 430s that come up that are a little bit cheap, and you look at it and you go, oh, what's wrong with that? And you look at it and it's always sort of Cat S or Cat and Repair, and they've all got Instagram tags in the back window, every single one of them.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, when I was repping, which was like 10 years, I guess, before you were repping, I was going up and down the M1, and so working in Wakefield all week, and then coming down Hampshire way, and every time it rained, you're always going to see 2 or 3 car accidents on a Friday night. It's a 200 and something mile trip, but they're almost always smart BMWs, usually a 530 I or D that had spun with a little bit of moisture on the road, and they were always BMWs that crashed. And I just sit there and I think they're just a crash risk.
I do. It's a fair shout, and I don't disagree with you, but I do wonder: is it a law of averages because there are so many of them on the road? Because, like as I said, the F80 and the F82 is the 4 Series, right? Every other BMW is an M car, or regardless, a big power.
Well, they're
good.
mostly M Sport, so it's like, I've got an M3.
They're
Now,
bad.
you have a 318i with the M Sport package on?
Yeah.
Derek.
But the same as a Golf, I feel that every hatchback I drive past is a Golf. But that's because they're very, very good.
It is.
And the same as the BMW. They are very good.
And you're right. I mean, with a Golf,
Unless you come off.
you get people who buy a Golf just because it's a car and they said, I need something to get to work, I'm going to get a Golf.
Yeah.
And it's at the same time, you get interesting people who sometimes buy Golfs. Normally it's just a rental or, while their interesting car is being repaired. But what I have noticed is Honda Jazzes and CRVs, I am yet to meet anyone who is under 100 years old and can drive who owns these cars. Every time on these country roads around here, and there's a big queue, I finally get around the front because I pull out. I'm the one in the Audi behind going, V8, get out of my way. And it's always a Honda Jazz at the beginning with some doddery old soul who thinks they're going terribly quickly at 41 and a 60. But with Golfs, and same with Beamers, is that there is a real variation. There are a lot of dicks, but, you get some decent people. I've met some people who do, like, charity work and stuff, and they drive BMWs.
Dom drives a Golf.
Yeah. Bless.
Any of our actual car news? Have you done anything with your car?
Yeah.
You went to AST.
Yeah, I went to AST to get suspension sorted on TJ. So TJ is the Subaru that I bought more or less new and then rebought back. And I had Litchfield built some custom AST suspension for it many years ago. That's now been replaced with some more custom built AST, and I went over there to get them assembled, and it turned out that some little bits didn't fit, so we had it machined yesterday, and then I came to fit it this morning and realised that the fronts don't fit because it's got completely wrong brackets on. So now we're getting, because we've got to do an article on the interior of it this weekend, I've bought some second-hand Bilsteins to go on this evening. We'll get it MOT'd on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We're doing the shoot all weekend with it, stripping out the interior, and then from Holland the correct bits from AST are being shipped over for Monday, so that it will be on coilovers by the end of Monday. It's been stressful, but I did sell a tranny today.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I'm kind of chuffed with that.
What was his name?
Her.
Her. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know what the polite way of saying it is anymore.
YO66 is what I call it.
Fair enough.
But
my other half works at a leisure centre, and she said one of the lifeguards had a complaint against them because they're all in their lanes, and one of them was in a fast lane when they should have been in the slow lane, so it was a bit older. And she went down and said, "I'm sorry, sir. Can you move into the slow lane so other people can get past you?" So, I don't think you should have assumed and called me sir.
You're wearing trunks.
got an erection.
And that was it. It was the erection that gave it away. So.
So what? So she got in trouble, did she, by somebody?
She didn't. No. The lifeguard had a complaint against them. And I just thought that was a little bit batty.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Customers.
Welcome to the West Country.
Wheels nearly fallen off the Renault.
Oh yeah, you've broken the Renault again, haven't you?
Well, no, I think it was probably it was already broken. But every time I turn right and I'm going a little bit too fast, there was a clunk, and I jacked up the passenger side yesterday and could get a full wobble. Full wobble on it. Okay,
this is just a shout out to the world. Could somebody please come and buy this Renault 5 off us, because Ian's just using it and it's going to get more broken, and it's just been another money
hopefully
pit.
James is going to be looking at a BMW for me up in Crewe on Friday,
okay,
which I may actually buy. If not, then I'll just suck it and buy a Mercedes and
give up on life.
Live my life.
What? Oh, you're going to get a 220?
Maybe. I don't know anymore. I'm just sick of looking. Do you ever get that point where you just don't have a direction with what car you want? You're just like, oh, just give me something that I don't have to lock with a key on both sides.
Well, look,
yeah,
that Renault is the first car I've had that doesn't have central locking. Even my Fiesta Gear, I had the 1990 Fiesta Gear, had central locking in it, and I even had
my 95 M Gear didn't
it?
No.
Mine had central locking, and I even put a MOS security upgrade on there so that I could turn it into remote central locking.
Get you.
Yeah, that was some great wiring.
Did you have 4 gears or 5?
5.
5.
And electric windows. And heated.
You know what?
Screen.
I'm beginning to think my first car that I got back.
I think somebody just gave you a gear badge.
I was about to say
you had a Poplar.
It had the hubcaps I really liked. The plastic hubcaps I liked.
What was the entry level for it? Was it Poplar?
Oh
no, that would have been
Poplar.
That would have been Mach 1.
Yeah,
the Poplar and the Poplar Plus.
Well, mine was 1.3 CVH, so I thought it was sort of not bottom of the range, but it looks like I was ripped off back in the 90s. Anyway, tough times. What you could do to buy a car, because this is how I do it, is get really drunk and go on eBay.
Mm-hmm. How'd that work out?
I've had interesting cars, and they've all actually had remote central locking.
So let's wrap this up before we get any more bad advice out there.
One question I'd like to put out to the audience. Please help me find a car. I need something that's quick, comfortable. I need a car that does everything.
Should we make this into a thing? Should we make this into a campaign? Should we do this as a page post as well? And when this comes out, and we will do a campaign to help Cav. It's your second sort of charitable venture. Help Cav find.
What's their budget?
Yeah,
15 to 20.
15 to 20 grand, and you'll buy whatever they say.
Absolutely not. I will take advice.
Okay, so 15 to 20 grand. It needs to be a hatchback and a saloon.
It needs to be. I'm open for either. It can't be a small hatchback because I am 30 and 20 stone, so I can't get in something pathetically small. Focus is fine. Fiesta, no, thank you.
Okay.
Or saloon, comfortable, not terrible on fuel. I'm happy to be late 20s, but I can't be down in the teens.
I can only dream of late 20s.
Ideally, not Japanese.
Not Japanese, but and basically something interesting and a bit different. Something that's going to stand out.
Yeah, I feel like those two cars, which I'm not dead set on, but they do fit the bill quite well. The Mark 1 Focus RS, the E36 M3, interesting, fun. They got some love.
Have you got an age limit? I mean, how old will you go?
It doesn't matter unless it's going to fall apart. You know,
Yeah,
you need
I
something
can
that's
sell you
usable.
a brand new car that's going to fall apart. Give us some era.
I'd say 15 to 20 years, only because I'm going off the E36 and the Mark 1 Focus RS. But
Something's interesting and
So
different.
post 2000.
Something you can work
yeah,
with.
And we know that you're racist against Japanese. What about the Italians, the French? Because there's no point people recommending a Seat if you say that you don't actually like a Spanish seat.
I think you find xenophobia.
but
It could well be xenophobia. Yeah, my apologies. Xenophobe.
And I'm not gonna. I know you want to wrap this up, and I apologise. I am the most optimistic pessimist ever, in that I can find fault in anything, and I can also find selling points in anything. So Seat, I dislike because it's a poor man's Volkswagen, but it's also a Volkswagen for less money.
Yes.
So I am my own worst enemy in that someone go, this is the best car in the world. I'll be like, yeah, but it's got that.
So how do you feel about Czechoslovakians or other Czech Republicans?
Oh, God.
What manufacturer is from there?
Skoda. You're talking
Skoda.
about cheap flags.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Keep it.
I like this guy
If
even
it's
more.
The
You know,
Skoda, all I see is VRS. That
Hey, the Skoda Superb is...
it's a great.
Exactly.
I'm sure it's a great
I
car.
do like a
but
Superb estate.
It still has the Skoda favorite
For,
stigma.
well, for
me,
you.
for me,
For
of
you,
course.
yeah.
But one of the chemists at work has got the Octavia VRS,
Yeah.
the estate one,
Yeah.
and I got it, and I was like, this is brilliant, beautiful in design, comfortable, great sound system, ticks all the boxes. I can't look past that badge.
Okay.
And I know that's
Well,
small-minded.
good for being honest about it. So you're obviously fine with Germans.
Yeah,
You're okay with Italians after your Dobloing?
yeah. I'm not writing them off.
Okay.
I'm
And
not bothered about going fast. Brera.
What is?
Alpha Brera.
yeah, it's not practical though.
They're pretty.
No, I don't think so. They're too fat in the rear. Fat
Speak
bottom
for
girls.
yourself.
Well, no, Brara's. No, I don't. I just don't go for it.
I mean, unfortunately, the answer to all questions relating to cars is the Lada Riva.
Sold.
It's the
Yeah.
you can literally do anything in a Lada Riva. I think that was the tagline.
Good luck finding a decent priced one.
You want to go off a landmine? You go off a landmine. It's fine.
You will die, but yeah.
Suspension good. Enough.
Why didn't you get a Swedish car? Hang on, I'm solving the problem here. But why didn't you get like a Saab 9.5?
I do keep looking at the Polestar V.
That's a lot of
16.
money. That's a lot of money. No,
Yeah,
look,
it's a
if
little
you want
bit
to go
strong.
classic, though, we're talking V70Rs. Ah, that's an awesome car. V70R, they're hardcore.
Looked at one the other day, funnily
Mm-hmm.
enough. Lot wrong with it. But that isn't a bad shout.
Hmm.
I didn't want to go there straight away, but we're looking like that.
Is this pre-aerodynamic Volvos or post?
It's post because you had the 850 T5 and then you had the T5R,
Yep.
and then it went to the V70
Yep.
or the S60 saloon version. And I very nearly bought one of those off somebody, and then I ended up cancelling a bid on. Got a very angry Polish chappie having a go at me. But
I also can't decide if I would want that type of car,
Mm-hmm.
something petrol turbocharged, to be. I would want it to be in a manual,
Mm-hmm.
just to thrash it through the gears. I feel that I could get very bored of that quite quickly because
Yeah.
it's not that kind of car. It is quick, but
they ain't that quick, and it's
No,
all
they're
about the
not.
mid-range anyway. And you'd be sat on a motorway most of the time.
yeah, doing 50 mile an hour.
And there's nothing worse if some of your cars are auto, like I do. I constantly stalling the manuals because I come off a motorway.
Forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why isn't this not working? It should be in sixth gear to start off with. That's normal.
In fact, get yourself an older Volvo, and if all goes wrong, you can become a window cleaner.
Yeah. Fair shout. Or cut price hearse.
To be fair,
Bring out your dad. Bring out your dad. Just drive up and down the street. Works fine.
Ring the bell, bit of metal in
Yeah.
there, the old washing machine.
No,
If to not buy yourself a gun.
the Volvo
you know.
the Volvo is a great shout. It does tick a lot of boxes.
Or
And they don't lose a ton of money either.
No, they're safe.
They've done their depreciating, and they sit there now.
or Saab 9.5 wagon with a turbo 2.3 hot. It's basically a voxel underneath.
Yeah.
I know people take the piss, but
Actually, a Vauxhall.
parts are easier to get.
Yeah, no,
know.
but I don't hate it. I don't hate
And
it.
they're comfy. They're proper comfy.
I haven't even looked.
And they have
I
a
don't know
parking
why.
ticket holder.
Oh yeah, I heard about that on your.
Whereas nowadays with
great.
all the text, you have to put your phone there.
Yeah, so you have
Just
to
in the
put your
window,
phone
just so
in the
people
Yeah.
can see it. You just put your phone in the window. It's fine. Just walk away and tell me where you've done it, and don't lock it.
I was going to nick it.
But if anybody else has oh my god, how have you not thought of this car?
Yes.
Please do let either me know or the.
Well, we'll put it on the page and all the rest of it, and they'll comment there, and then I'll tag you
thank you.
at like 2 a.m.
wonderful. I'll be getting up with the twins anyway, don't worry.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Cool. Well, Cav, thank you so much for venturing all the way over here.
No problem
We
at all.
are going to wrap it up. It's a Thursday today, isn't it? So
It could be.
yeah, I'm exactly the same. I had to check yesterday, and it was a Wednesday
Correct.
yesterday, so I'm guessing probably.
Chances are.
Thursday. And we will be back coming in your ears fairly soon, I'm sure. And you kept a straight face, good man. And we will be. Ian's gone though. Ian's just completely collapsed. He's
I'm okay.
failed.
I've got headphones on.
Protective caps. And we will be back soon with yet another special guest who we don't know who yet, but we'll find somebody or drag him off the street or do whatever, And we will be back with James hopefully as well if he makes it back from immigration from the north. And hopefully you'll be tuning in again. Thank you very much for listening.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.